Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be working with a 30-ounce Slurp from the Stainless Depot. I took my cup out of the box and put it on my turner, and I prepped my cup with Cover All from the CrystalLac company. Once that was dry, about 24 hours, I went ahead and I painted my tumbler with rust-oleum+berry, waited for that to dry, and then I did another coat of the Cover All. I wanted to make sure that the adhesive would adhere to the paint. So now I'm going to go in, once that's dry, I waited about 2 hours. Once that's dry, I'm going to go in with 2 coats of the Helios. I want to just make sure that I have total coverage. And the glitter I'm going to be using is Apricot from the Glitter Guy and Rainbow from AB Design Co. It's a fine glitter. Now that I've completed applying all my glitter, I'm going to wrap my tumbler in parchment paper and just rub any pokey bits I have down. This helps with flattening the glitter so that we don't have to do any extra sanding in between epoxy layers. So I put a layer of epoxy on. I used 35 mLs of a little extra epoxy, and I measured the circumference of my tumbler because that changes once you put the glitter on and the epoxy. And I split my tumbler into thirds. The top 2/3 is going to have vinyl on it, and I'm going to be using a template from Diamonds and Dust Shop. And the bottom third is going to have these hearts on it, which is going to be a peekaboo design. And I got these hearts from Creative Fabrica. I will list and link everything in the description box below. And of course, I did not cut enough hearts, so I had to go back and cut hearts and place them on. So after I finished placing the hearts on, I went and spray painted the bottom of my cup with white, Rust-Oleum paint, and then I sprinkled the rainbow glitter along the white that I had spray painted. I let that dry, even though I knew it was going to be a problem trying to pick those hearts off, and I put a layer of triple thick on. I did not want the white glitter to contaminate the top half of the tumbler, because my plan for the top half is I'm going to be putting vinyl there. So here I am pulling off the hearts, and it's not easy because I have that dried, I let it dry a little bit, and then I put the triple thick on there and that dried. So it was a struggle to get this on. I probably should have just sprayed it with some clear Rust-Oleum spray paint. Once I've finished struggling getting these hearts off, I'm going to measure the circumference of my tumbler and the distance from the top of the tumbler to this white line so I can adjust the template. Because I put on epoxy and glitter, the template is not going to be the same size. So I went in and I measured, and here's the template right here, and I pulled out the pieces that I do not need. And I'm going to go around and make sure that it fits around the tumbler. What I usually do is I do a test cut on a piece of paper to make sure I don't waste any vinyl. And here it is. It fits pretty well. I knew I could do a little overlapping because it's going to be the straight line in the middle. So I went ahead and I'm going to apply this with the hinge method. And this also has a pinstriping with it. Not pinstriping, but the striping that goes with it. And I'm going to cut that out and apply that as well once I have this vinyl on and trimmed. So I went and I cut out the striping for this, and I was going to use, I don't know what I was going to do. I had some ideas on how I was going to apply it, and I put it on a piece of parchment paper, but that didn't work out. So I ended up kind of putting it on by hand, and it wasn't bad because it's one piece, and I wanted to get it on straight. So it was a little bit of a struggle, and I didn't lose any pieces, and I got it on. But next time I'll really think it through on how I should apply this. Once the pinstriping was completed, I went in and I used those same hearts that I had used from Creative Fabrica, and I created an offset. And I wanted to outline the hearts with the offset. So I put the striping around, and I then started to apply the offset to the peekaboo pattern. I wanted to give it a little bit more dimension. Then I realized I didn't like the way the bottom looked. So I went and I taped everything off so I wouldn't contaminate Tumbler with overspray. But what I did first was I got a hole punch. It's I think it's a 2-inch, but it has a little scallop pattern to it. So I punched that out and I put it on the bottom of the cup on the stainless steel. And then I punched a piece of stencil vinyl out and put that over it. And then I went and I painted the bottom of the tumbler white. And I added the rainbow glitter to the bottom of the tumbler. And then I took the same punch and I punched out another one and I put it on top of the cup because I had glittered the top, and I've been epoxying it. And I put that on top and cut the little hole out and epoxied that as well. And I was happier with the way the tumbler looked after I finished the bottom. So then I went and did one more coat of the triple thick, waited for that to dry, and I only had to put one coat of a little extra epoxy, which I actually used 30 mLs for that. And here it is, all completed. I hope you liked the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.